Hello students, welcome. This is Dr. Chetna Kumawat. In today's lecture, we will understand the essentials of a sound or optimal capital structure. So let's get started. The capital structure of a company should aim at maximizing the long-term market value of its equity shares. The financial management should design and develop a sound capital structure which is most advantageous for the company and its shareholders. The designing of a sound or optimal capital structure requires to consider the following features in addition to a comparative analysis of cost, risk, and control associated with different security patterns. Minimum cost of capital. A sound capital structure must ensure the minimum cost of capital. The cost of capital means the interest on debt and dividend payable on equity and preference shares, cost of issuance such as underwriting commission, brokerage, advertisement, printing. This cost differs in various types of securities. Therefore, while determining the capital structure, such a mix of different securities should be selected in which the cost is minimum. For this purpose, a comparative study of the costs of various mixes of different securities under specific and hypothetical conditions should be done, and where the cost is minimum, that mix should be selected. A moderate use of debt capital minimizes the overall cost of capital and it leads to an optimal capital structure. This was point number 1. Point number 2 is minimum risk. Various types of business and financial risks such as business competition, increase in taxes and rate of interest, dwindling purchasing power, natural calamities have adverse effect on the capital structure. Hence, it should be devised in such a way that these risks are minimum and the enterprise may absorb their pressure when needed. In this regard, debt capital has been proved to be a positive step in the sense that it raises the return on equity and the value of the firm. However, excessive debt capital inflates the financial risk of equity and the value of firm. Therefore, sound capital structure attempts at a perfect trade-off between return and risk. Number 3. Maximum return. The capital structure should be such that it may provide maximum return to equity shareholders, the real owners of the company. It is possible only when the firm earns stable and adequate income regularly. Yet, it can be achieved by using debt capital to the extent the cash flows are available for servicing of debt. Number 4, maximum control. Generally, equity shareholders have the control over the affairs of the company. Preference shareholders and the debenture holders have limited voting rights, that is, in matters affecting their interest. Therefore, the capital structure should be designed as to preserve the control of the company's management in the hand of the existing group of shareholders. The risk of the loss of control and interferences in the autonomy of management should be minimum. This can be achieved by maintaining a proper balance between voting right and non-voting securities. Safety. Under a sound capital structure, fluctuations in earnings should not involve heavy strain on company's financial structure. Debt should be used to the extent that the burden of fixed charges does not create the danger of risk of insolvency. The company must have sufficient liquidity to meet its obligations in time. Number 6. Simplicity. The capital structure should not be complicated. Use of several types of securities with varied terms and conditions may create confusion among investors. It is therefore very essential that in the beginning only equity shares or preference shares should be issued, and afterwards debentures may be issued. However, in order to achieve simplicity, one should be cautious that it may not be so cheap. Number 7. Flexibility. The optimal capital structure of a company should be flexible so as to enable it to be in tune with the changing economic conditions both within and outside the company. With the help of this flexibility, the company is in a position to raise funds easily and also sell its securities without any difficulty as and when it wants. Such a flexibility depends upon certain important factors like flexibility in service charges, restrictive clauses in loan agreements, process of redemption, and debt capacity. Number 8. Alternative rules. The capital structure should be such that various rights of holders of securities such as return, voting power, redemption, transfer are more and more attractive. This will have a good impact on the relations between the company and the holders of different securities. Number 9. Commensurate to legal requirements. In every country, certain rules are framed in companies and other acts regarding the ratios of various types of securities in the capital structure of business concern. SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, also insists to maintain a definite debt-equity ratio. Hence, the capital structure should be commensurate to legal and economic assumptions. In brief, a sound or optimal capital structure requires a debt-equity ratio 1:1, earnings interest ratio 2:1, and 1.5 times of interest during depression. Besides this, total debt capital should not exceed 50% of the depreciated value of assets, and total long-term loans should not be more than net working capital during normal conditions. The current ratio 2:1 and liquidity ratio 1:1 to be maintained. The question arises, is optimal capital structure is a myth or reality? Theoretically, one can speak of an optimal capital structure, but in practice, it is very difficult to design such a capital structure. It is a relative term and it varies from one company to another and from one point of time to another. It is more an ideal than a practical concept because a large number of factors affect the capital structure. Thus, factors, as discussed earlier, are highly complex and independent. The weightage given to each of these factors varies from situation to situation so that they do not fit into any theoretical framework. Therefore, there can be no optimal or perfect capital structure for all firms for all times. But a firm must continuously review and revise its capital structure in order to achieve its objectives in the best possible manner. So, this was all about the essentials of a sound or optimal capital structure. Thank you so much for your patience and listening.